Okay, ma'am. So, good afternoon to one and all. My name is Jyoti, working as an assistant professor in JNTU GV, Vijayanagaram. So today I'm going to explain you about the contents of today's talk: introduction to Python, basic concepts of Python programming, control flow and looping statements in Python, strings in Python, functions, and Python built-in data structures, object-oriented programming, and exception handling. Now, so introduction to Python. So what is the Python programming language? So Python is a general purpose, multi-paradigm, very high-level programming language created by Guido van Rossum. So he is the creator of Python, Guido van Rossum. So general purpose programming language means it can be used to build just about anything which will be made easy with the right libraries. Multi-paradigm, very high-level programming language. That means it is just like a English language. Everyone can using this. I mean, easy to learn this programming language. Okay, now, so this is the according to the RVPL index, popularity of programming languages index. So the Python is one of the powerful Python programming language from 2018 onwards. Okay, this is the corresponding, this is the graph related to that PYPL index, which is taken from the Google. Okay, so this is a PYPL index, popularity of a programming language. From 2018 onwards, Python having a most powerful language in all types of applications and all types of industries use Python programming. Next, according to TIOBE index as of October 2020, TIOBE means the importance of being earnest. Okay, so this is the software quality company. So that is also says that Python overtook Java and C as the most popular programming language. So So this is a TIOBE software quality company website. Okay, so here I will take those analytics from this website. So Python gains the got a first place from 2018 onwards, and then so this is the graph. So here so this is the light blue indicates the Python development or Python graph. Okay, is this visible? Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So now again I'll come back to our PPT. Now, so many companies use Python. So the top 12 companies I have displayed here. So because of easy of use and business friendly, open source software, versatility of use, rich set of libraries and frameworks. So these are the main some of the features are features of the Python. So that's why so many companies are using this Python language. So is Python a new programming language? No, it is there since 1991. From 1991 onwards, the Python programming is there. From 2015 onwards, the Python boom is the Python boom present. Okay, so companies like Google have been using for decades. Some popular web applications created using Python. So why the name Python? So it was not named after a dangerous snake. And Rosem was fan of a comedy series from the last 70s. The name of the that particular series is Monty Python's Flying Circus. So in that he's taken Python. Okay, Python is not a dangerous snake. Okay. So features of Python programming. So features of Python programming here. Python programming is a simple programming language. So that means we already learned C and C++, Java. I think most of the members knows about this C and C++, Java. So Python is a simple Python programming language. So we have a so for example, if you want to write a simple Python programming, welcome to Python. Display welcome to Python onto the screen. So in that case, we use what simply we use print statement within brackets. We write the welcome to Python programming, which are enclosed with double quotes. So that is the single statement can we have to use for displaying that statement. Whereas in C++, we have a always the first one is what header files. After that, include statements, and then main is the compulsory function for executing any C programming, right? So after that, we write the curly braces, then printf welcome to C onto the C programming. So there is a more than two or three statements are required for writing any C programming or C++ or Java program for displaying welcome to some programming language. Okay, so whereas in Python, it is a simple programming language, and it is very easy to learn, and it is a free and open source. It is available free and open source. It is a high level language. It is just like a English level language, and it contains a standard broadcast of standard libraries are there. So and also it is a interpreted language, and it is portable and object oriented programming language. So simple means it is a simple programming language. So reading a program written in Python feels like a reading English. Okay, so easy to learn means it is clearly defined and easily readable. And then free and open source means Python is an example of open source software. Anyone can freely distribute it and read the source code, edit it, and even use code to write new programs. And high level language. So it is just when writing programs in Python, the programmers don't have to worry about the low level details like managing memory used by the program like that. So it is a high level language. It is just like a English language. And portability means interpreted language means Python is processed at runtime by the interpreter. No need to compile the program before executing it. And then portable. Portable is a Python is a portable language means it works on any of the operating system like Linux, Windows, Macintosh, and Mac OS, etc. And object-oriented means it supports processor programming language as well as object-oriented programming language. So we will learn that object-oriented programming language in later session. Okay, so these are the features of Python programming. So coming to applications of Python programming, there are so many applications are there. Some of the applications are I displayed here. It is used in web applications and develop GUI applications, console-based applications, software development, scientific and numeric applications, and business applications, audio or video-based applications, 3D CAD applications, enterprise applications, image processing applications, ML applications, etc. ML, DL, deep learning ML applications, we use this Python code. And this is the installing Python on your desktop or laptop. There is some link is there. Just I want to see the procedure. So there is some problem is there. So installing Python on your desktop means desktop or laptop. So there is a process is there. First of all, we are going to write a type in Google just simply Python. www.python.org. So in that we have a latest version. Python, I think Python 3.11 is the latest version. So we have to download that so easily install in our computer system. Okay, so getting started with Python programming. Python is a high-level general-purpose programming language for solving problems on modern computer systems. So the language and many supporting tools are free, and programs can run on any operating system. So that's what is called a portable operating system, right? You can download Python, its documentation related materials from www.python.org. So in that we have a latest version for Python is there. Python software is available, so we can download from that website. So running code in the interactive cell. So before going to this one, I want to open Python in our system. So simply. So in my computer, I have a Python 3.7 64-bit software is there. So I installed that Python 3.7 here. So this is the ideally integrated development environment in that we have supposed to write all programs. Okay. And also there are different ways to executing a Python programming. Okay, so this is the Python command prompt, Python 3.7 shell, and this is these three greater than symbols are represented as Python prompt. Here we write any simple statement like print welcome to Python programming. So within single statement, we can display that welcome to Python programming onto the screen. Okay, so this is the Python shell. So Python code in the interactive cell. You can run simple Python expressions and statements in an interactive programming environment is called shell. So the easiest way to open a Python shell is to launch IDLE, that is nothing but integrated development environment. So this is an integrated program development environment that comes with the Python installation. So through Python installation, along with Python installation, the IDLE also, install in our system. So when you do this, a window named Python shell opens. So a shell window contains an operating message followed by the special symbol 3 greater than, that is called as a shell prompt. When you enter an expression or statement, Python evaluates it and displays its results if there is one followed by a new prompt. So this is the one of the features of Python is concise. Okay, so this is the Python program using IDE. First Python programming using IDE. So just here I want to display only welcome to Python programming onto the screen. So here this is the Python shell. So in that I simply write that's instruction print welcome to Python programming onto the screen. So that is the, so after writing this single statement, we can get that particular statement that's welcome to Python programming that is to be displayed on the screen. Okay. Now, so now coming to if you want to write in same welcome message in Java or C programming. So this is the code for Java programming and this is the code for C programming. Class first. So because Java programming is a purely object-oriented program, compulsory you need to write any Java program, at least one class is required. So class first, if class name is first, under that we have some main method. Main is the static method, public static void string box. This is the signature of the main, and then system.out.println welcome to Java program. So this is how many lines are required for writing Java programming? So more than 3, okay, along with curly braces, right? So whereas in C programming, so we have first we have to write.
Thank you.
Hello. Okay, next one is welcome to C programming. That is the code. This is the code for welcome to C programming. So that's why Python is a easy to
mode లో ఉంచాలి అన్నట్టుగా చెప్తున్నారు సార్.
easy to learn and Python is conciseness. Okay, so within a single statement we can display this program. Okay, so this is the difference between the different programmings with Python. Now, color coding of Python programming elements in IDLE, integrated development environment. So we have to write all Python programs in IDLE. It's a IDLE. So in that we have different types of color words are there. So which color is represent which type of element? So that is to be listed in this box. That is black. Black color indicates what inputs in the IDLE shell: numbers, operator symbols, variables, functions, and method references, punctuation marks. All these are indicated with, itself indicated with what black colors. And blue outputs is in the IDLE shell and also functions, class, and method names in definitions. So all are represented with what blue color. Okay, so this is the Ken Lambert is the one of the output. Okay, and factorial is the definition, function definition. So that is to be displayed in blue colors. Next one is strings are represented with green color, and keywords are represented with orange color. Def, if, while, these are all keywords which are represented with appear in orange color. And built-in functions represented those are appeared in purple, that is absolute, round, and end. Next one is program comments or error messages in the IDLE shell. So those type of elements are represented, appeared in IDLE is red color. Okay, so this is the color coding of Python program elements in IDLE. Now, input, processing, and output. So the Python shell itself is a program. It takes the input, and that is Python expressions or statements, and it processes the it evaluates the based on the expressions, and it gives the results as an output. Okay, now output means it displays something onto the screen. So for that purpose, we use always a print statement. So there are different notations of print statements are available. Some of the print expressions are here. So the programmer can force the output of a value by using the print function. It can take any of the following forms. That first one is print simple expression. So if you want to display, if you want to write any expression, print T+4. So here the print statement takes only one expression that can be replaced with an expression that needs to be evaluated, or any string that can be printed. Ma'am. Okay. No, ma'am, talking. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Now, this is the second way of representation of the displaying print statement. Note here, ellipse indicates that you could include multiple expressions after the first one. So, for example, here print 3 plus 4 and 5 into 9, high CSE something. So there are three expressions are there. So three expressions are evaluated uh, using this print statement 3 plus 4 comma 5 into 9 comma high CSE. Okay. Now, third expression is print expression and equals to. So normally, whether it outputs one or multiple expressions are there, the print function always ends its output with a new line. So if you want to begin the next output on the same line as the previous one, so in that case, we use after that expression, we use and equals to. Simply, we mentioned only two double quotes, which says that end the line with an empty string instead of a new line at the end of the list of expressions. So this is the fourth way of representation of the print. It takes the multiple expressions and also there is a separator is equals to literal, and the separator stands for SCP stands for separator and is assigned a single space by default. By default, it assigns single space. It determines the value to join elements with. So, for example, here print 3 plus 4 high 5 into 7. So it just simply by default it gives the only single space. That's why the output will be displayed 7 space high space 35. Next one is print 3. Next example here we use the separator is arrow mark. Okay. Now the output will be displayed like this. So instead of single space here, it includes this symbol. And next one is the separator is equal to \n, that is called next line 7 high and 35. So these are the different types of print statements. And next one is how to take input from the user. So I want to take first. I will go to Python IDE. Okay. Now, just I want to write something here. A equals to 10. Next, some B equals to 20. Next one is A plus B. Now we will get what? What is the value of A plus B? 30. So how many times A equal to 10 and B equal to 20, A plus B equals to 30. So if you want to write again A plus B value, what is the value? 30. So so here by using input function, we have to ask a number from the from the user. In that case, we use what? Input function. So the input function always gives the string type of value. So this is the syntax of the input function. Variable identifier is equals to input of some statement. So something like enter a value or enter a number, enter a string, or welcome to C. Welcome to Python programming, which is enclosed with a double quotes. Okay. So always the input function returns the string type of value. So you will often want your programs to ask the user for input. You can do this by using the input function. This function pauses the program to stop and wait for the user to enter a value from the keyboard. So whenever that input statement is input function is there, then the input function requires the input from the user through keyboard. Okay, so it waits and for the user to enter a value from the keyboard. So the form of an assignment statement with this input function is as follows: variable that is equals to input. Okay, so this is the example: name input, enter a name. Now after enter this statement, we have a statement like this: enter a name, and then we provide some value. And if you want to the name which is present in that name, so the for that purpose we use name. Okay, then it will give Raju as a string type of value. So that's it is enclosed with the single quotes. Next, enter a number. So enter a number means I have entered 45 here. Okay, so if you want to see that value which is present in A, so in that case we use this A instruction, and then it will give 45. That is treated as a string. Okay, so that means what? By using all these examples, we conclude that what input function always returns the string type of value. Next, the input function always builds a string from the user's keystrokes and returns it to the program. After inputting strings that represents numbers, the programmer must convert them from strings to appropriate numeric types. So always the input function returns the string type of value. So if you want to if you want to take input from the user as a integer or floating point numbers, compulsory you need to type conversion. Okay, if you need to type convert that string to integer or floating point value. See, in Python there are two types conversion functions for this purpose, that is called int for integers and float for floating point numbers. So here, so the input enter a number is equal to 9. So that is to be displayed like this string type. Okay, so I want to represent that, I want to convert that 9 to integer type. So for that purpose, we use this statement. So before input function, we prefix some value, that is we prefix some keyword, that is the int input of enter a number. Okay, now this A contains integer type of value. So let me something here. Okay, so accepting input from the user. Okay, so A equals to something like input of enter a number. Okay, then we will get this enter a number. So here I want to assign some value 10. 10. Okay, so I want to know, or I want to print that A value. Okay, that is to be displayed in string type. Okay, so if you want to know the type of that particular A, okay, in that case we use what type function of A. Okay, so that is the class str. So if you want to convert that number into, I mean that string into number, we use the instruction is int input of enter a number. Right. Okay, enter a number. Now again I want to enter 10. Okay, again I want to see what is the value present in that particular A. Okay, that is 10 without any inverted commas. Okay, so I want to know that what is the type of A now. That is class integer type. So A is the integer type. So here in this particular slide, what is the what we will get that one? That is what input function always gives the string type of value. If you want to convert the given value as a number, okay. So in that case, we use what? We have to convert that number into that string into integer or string into floating point number. So for that purpose, we use what? We have to prefix the int before the input function. Okay. Editing, saving, and running a script. So till now we are using only Python command prompt. Okay, so here to compose and execute programs in this manner, you perform the following steps. Select the option new window from the file menu of this shell window. In the new window, enter Python expressions or statements on separate lines in the order in which you want Python to execute them. At any point, you may save the file by selecting File, Save. If you do this, you should use a .py extension. So this .py extension specifies what type of file it is. Okay, if it is a, for example, if it is a document file, so it is a default, it is saved as .doc, or if it is a text file .txt, if it is Excel file, EXL. Okay, if it is a C file, .c, C++, .c++, or .java. So that means that extension specifies what, it tells the what type of file it is. Okay, your first program file might be named myprogram.py. To run this file of code as Python script, select run module from the run menu or press the F5 key. So I want to take that Python shell, and here, so here at a time only one statement will be executed, but I want to execute block of statements in at a time. So for that purpose, we use what? Python script file. So here there is a file menu is there. There is a new file. Click on new file, and then we will get some window. See, in that we have to supposed to write the program. Okay. So the after writing the source code, we will save the program, and there is a run tab is there. So in that run, we have a run module. Okay, after clicking this run module, we have to, if any modifications are there in the source code, before going to save, it asks, just ask the, do you want to see the source code, and then it displays the result. So for example, here I want to write something, addition of two numbers. Okay, for that purpose, I want to use A equal to 10 and B equal to 20. Then print A plus B. Okay, then click on run module. So here there is a dialog box. Save before run and or check. Source must be saved. Okay to save. Yes. Okay. Then we will give some file name. Program one. Okay, save. After saving this one, so the output will be displayed at command prompt, Python command prompt. Okay, this is the file is present here, program1.py. So that is the restart C users something app data local programs Python 37 program1.py. So the program1.py is available in this folder. Okay, it simply display the path and along with the output. Okay, next one is variables. So how to define a variable? Same like C and C++ Java. So there are some variable names are there. So variable associates a name with a value, making it easy to remember and use the value later in a program. Okay, there are two important purposes in a program. It helps the programmer keep track of data that change over time, and it allows the programmer to refer a complex piece of information with a simple name. Okay, how to frame a variable name? So there are some variable names. I mean, variable names are there. So variable rules are there. So the variable name must begin with a either letter or an underscore and can contain any number of letters, digits, or other underscores. Okay, Python variable names are case sensitive. That means what here? The weight, capital letter weight is not same as the smaller case. Smaller case letters. Okay, so those are different. So that means Python is a case sensitive language. Okay, so here in case of variable names that consisting of more than one word, it's common to begin each word in the variable name except the first one. So with an uppercase letter. So this makes the variable name easier to read. For example, here there is an interest rate. So interest rate is the variable name. So here interest and rate is the two different words, but I want to combine those two words as a variable name. In that case, we write interest and rate. The first letter is to be capital letter. So that is uh, that makes the variable name easier to read. Okay. So interest rates is slightly easier to read than the name interest rate. Okay, so programmers use all uppercase letters for the names of the variables that contain values that the program never changes. Such variables are called symbolic constants. Okay, so if you want to write the, there are some constants are there, something like pi value 3.14. So that is always same. 3.14 is the value of the pi. Okay, so those type of constants are represented in capital letters. Variable receive their initial values and can be reset to new values with an assignment statement. So, for example, a equal to if you want to write a value is 10, after that I want to assign some value to the a. So, by using assignment operator, we initialize that value to the variables using assignment statement. The simplest form as an assignment statement is follows variable equal to expression. The Python interpreter first evaluates the expression on the right side of the assignment symbol and then binds the variable name on the left side of the variable. When this happens to the variable name for the first time, it is called defining or initializing the variable. So if you want to assign something, some value or some expression to the left side of the variable in the at the first time, that is to be represented as defining the variable or initializing the that is treated as initializing the variable, that is called as. Okay, next one is Python operators. Okay, so basic classification of operators in Python. So basically, what is meant by operator? Operator is the symbol which performs a particular operation depending on the, the symbol we have to use, right? So based on that operators, we basically the classifications are divided into three types: unary operator, binary operator, and ternary operator. That means the operator uses only single operand is called a unary operator. Binary operator means the operator requires more than the operator requires two operands. Then the type of operator is called binary operator. And ternary operator means the operator acts on the three operands, that it's called as a ternary operator. Okay, so basically the operators are divided into unary, binary, and ternary. So unary operator means operator that operator requires only one operand. Okay, example is here in this example, unary minus. Okay, so here -5, the operator minus is used to make the single operand 5 a negative value, hence called it as a unary operator. And binary operator, so here plus minus into all arithmetic relational bitwise operators all are comes under the binary operator. That operators acts on two operands. That is called binary operator. Next one is ternary operator. If the operator acts on the three operands, then it is called a ternary operator. In general, all ternary operators, that is a precise way of writing conditional statements. Okay, so here there is a, in Python, here we use what? X equals to, if else statements are there now. Okay, X equals to true value if condition, else false value. Whereas in Java, C programming, we have a conditional operator colon, question mark colon. So whereas in Python, the ternary operator is just like writing conditional statements. Okay, so here how many operands are there? One is true value, and second one is the condition, and third one is the false value. Okay, so these are the three operands are required for writing or executing any ternary operator. Okay, so basically operators are three types: unary, binary, and ternary. So types of operators in Python. Okay, so arithmetic operators, relational, logical, assignment operators, unary minus operator, membership operators, identity operators. So these are the different types of operators. Okay. Arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used with numeric values to perform common mathematical operations. So these are all operators comes under arithmetic operators, and all these arithmetic operators are binary operators. It requires to perform an operation. It requires two operands. Okay, first one is a plus b, a minus b, a into b, a divide b, a modulus b, a exponent operator b, and a division operator. Integer division of b. Okay, so here A plus B means what? Add two numbers and subtract two numbers, multiplication and quotient of the. So here divide means it returns the quotient of the division, and A modulus B means it returns the remainder of the uh, operation. Okay, A exponent B. So A exponent B and A integer division of B. So it simply displays integer quotient. Okay, so I want to shell and open. Okay, so these are the this is the example of arithmetic operators. Here I want to take A value is 20 and B equal to 12. A 20, B 20, sorry, B 12, and I want to display all arithmetic operators like this. Okay, so if you want to take user, I mean take input from the user, in this case we use what? Int input of enter a number. Between double quotes we enter a number. Next one is B equal to okay. Now the command prompt consisting of enter a number, it asks the number 10 and again 23. Then it displays the addition, subtraction, multiplication, modulus, division, modulus, and the exponentiation, and finally, what is the final one? Integer division. Okay, so this is the output of this particular program. Next one is comparison operators. So these are all list of comparison operators. All these having requires two operands. So that means what? These comparison operators also comes under binary operators. Okay, greater than equal to, less than equal to, and not equal to. Okay. So if A is greater than B, if A is greater than B, if the condition is true, then it results true value, and it all comparison operators returns Boolean value as an output. Okay, so if the condition is true, then it results true. Otherwise, it results false. Okay. So, relation operators. Okay, this is the one. So I want to run this one. So it always gives the Boolean values as an output. Okay, so A equal to 13 and B equal to 5. Print A is greater than B. 13 is greater than 5. Yes. So now what is the output of this statement? True value. Next one is that A is greater than equal to B. Yes, that is also true. And A is less than B. 13 is less than 5. No. So it results false value. Okay. Like that, we will execute all comparison operators and logical operators in Python. So I will, there are three operators are there, and or not. See here in C, C++, Java, we use AND operation, AND symbol, or symbol, not symbol. Whereas in Python programming, we use word, that is AND or not, instead of symbols here. Okay. So in logical operators, false indicates 0 and true indicates the non-zero value. Okay, so there is an AND operation. Both the arguments are true, then only the result is true. Otherwise, false. Okay, OR operation means at least in one of the statement or one of the expression is true, then the result is true. And the complement of the Boolean value, not means what? If it is if the expression is true, then it returns the not value is returns false value. Okay, so these are all logical operators. Next one is identity operators. So here there are two types of identity operators are there, is not. So X is Y. So returns true if both variables are the same object, and returns true if both the variables are not the same object. So in that case, we use what? It returns true. Is not. If it is not there, then it returns true value. Okay, returns is not, returns true if both the variables are not the same object. Okay. Now, identity operators are used to compare the objects, not if they are equal, but if they are actually the same object with the same memory location. The memory location of the object can be seen using ID function. Okay, so in this ID function, we have to see the particular memory location. Membership operators, in and not in. Okay. Here there is an example, X in Y. If X is in Y, then it returns the true value. Otherwise, it is returns the false value. And bitwise operators. These bitwise operators are the operators which perform at bit level only. Okay, which performs at bit level only. So, for example, if you want to find out something like 2 bitwise and 3. So first we need to convert 2 in binary. The binary representation. First, we need to convert the two expressions in binary. After that, we perform normal AND operation. So, what is the normal AND operation? If the two expressions are one, then it results true value. Otherwise, false value. Okay, these are the bitwise operators. So, all the bitwise operators means the operation performed at bit level only. So, here I think here I didn't specify AB values. I forgot to write A and B values. Okay, so that is bitwise, and operator copies a bit to the result if it exists in both operands. It copies a bit if it exists in either operand. Okay. And bitwise XOR and bitwise ones complement, binary left shift and binary right shift operations. These are all comes under bitwise operators. Okay, assignment operators. These are all assignment operators equal to X equals to 5 and same as X equals to 5. Plus equals to means this is a short. Sometimes it is also called as shorthand operator. X plus 3 equal to 3. So X is equals to X plus 3 can be written as X plus 3 equal to 3. X equals to X minus 3 written as X minus 3 equal to 3. X equals to X dot 3 is represented as X dot equal to 3. So these are all assignment operators. Sometimes all these operands except equal to are also called as shorthand operators. Logical operators. Logical operators are used to combine conditional statements and or not. Here there is an X is less than 5 and X is less than 10. Based on the X value, we decided what is the output of this program. For example, the X value is 10. 10 is less than 5. No. So the output will be false. Okay. For example, the 10 value, the X value is 4. Substitute in place of X 4. 4 is less than 5. Yes. And 4 is less than 10. Yes. So both the statements are true, then the result is true. Okay, similarly, we use OR operator and NOT operator also. Okay, next one is control flow and loop statements in Python. Okay, so there are 3 different ways of control statements are there. So those are sequential and conditional and looping. So in programming languages, flow control means the order in which the statements or instructions that we write get executed. In order to understand a program, we should be aware of what statements are being executed and in which order. Okay, if it is executed in sequential order, we use what sequential statements. And if it is if there is a condition applied, we use what that type of program the type of statements are used conditional operators. Okay, and looping. If the statements are repeated more number of times, in that case we use what? Looping statements. So sequential statements. There is a print 1, print 2, print 3 statements are there. So all these are executed in same order. So that's why those are all sequential statements. Conditional statements in Python. Conditional statements are also called as decision-making statements. Let's discuss some conditional for making the statements in detail. There are three types of conditional statements are there: if statement, if-else statements, and if-else-if-else statements. So decision-making statements are also called as selection statements. In Python, the selection statements are also known as decision-making statements or branching statements. Selective statements. Here, this is a simple if statement. If the condition is true, then execute conditional code. Conditional code. Otherwise, rest of the code will be executes. Okay. If the condition is true, then conditional code is executes. So this is a flowchart of if statement. And if-else statement, if the condition, if expression followed by colon. So in this Python programming, compulsory you need to, you need to follow the indentation. Okay, so whereas in C, C++, Java, we have a, if you want to use a block of code, code represented as curly braces, whereas in Python that curly braces options are not there. So we have to follow the indentation. Just if expression followed by colon. Colon is the syntax. If syntax, expression, colon, then statements will be executed. So we need to leave some space after if expression. Okay, so that is called indentation. Okay, so else after that there is a statement. Okay, now this is the flow chart. If the condition is true, then if statement executes. If the condition is false, else statement will execute. After that, if any statements are there, those statements will execute. And nested if statement. If expression 1, if expression 2 statements, else statement. That means here nested if statement means the if statement consisting of another if statement. Okay, so then that is called a nested if statement. Okay, so this is the flow chart. Okay, if C1, okay, I didn't specify true, false directions. I'm sorry. So, okay, if the expression 1 is true, then it is entered into the expression 2. Okay, it checks the expression 2. If the expression 2 is true, then the statement will execute under expression 2. Otherwise, the else statements will execute. Okay, this is a nested if statements. Now, multiple if statements. If expression 1 is correct, then the statement will execute under expression 1, else if expression 2 statements, else if expression 3, else if expression 4, and so on. Okay, this is the one of the example of multiple if statements. Okay, so taking input from the user, a equal to int input, that input value is also integer type. So a equal to int input, enter any number. If a is greater than 0, then print positive. Less than 0, then else if a is less than 0, then print negative, else print 0. So compulsory you need to follow the indentation. So that is the if you want to represent a block of code, compulsory we need to follow the indentation. Otherwise we will get an indentation error. Okay, next one is loop statements. Loop statements are also called as iterative statements, and iterative statements are used to execute a part of program repeatedly as long as given condition is true. So if the if the code is executed, block of code is executed several number of times, in that case we use what? Iterative statements. So there are two types of iterative statements are there: while statement and for statement. Okay, now for loop in Python. Okay, so this is the syntax of for loop for variable in sequence and statements. Okay, so printing every item cost by adding GST. So there is some list, item cost equal to 10, 20, 30, and the GST is equal to 2. And I want to add, I want to add each and every cost of item to GST. So in that case, 2 is added with 10, 2 is added with 20, and 2 is also added with 30. So how many times it will execute? 3 times. Same process is repeated 3 times. So for that purpose, we use what? Loop statements for X in item cost, then print X plus GST. Okay, compulsory. You have to follow the indentation. So here, so this is the program. Next one is loop control statements, break statement in Python, continue statement, pass statement, and return statement. So break statement means whenever the break statement is encountered in the program, the control transfers from the current block. Okay, I mean switches exist from current block. So that is called, in that case, we use what? Break statement. So here in this, for I in range of 10, print I, if I equal to 2. Whenever I equal to 2 is there, then the control exists this for loop. So this is the code for break statement. And pass statement in Python. Pass means, so there is a for block is there. So I want to represent that for block with null body. So in that case, we use pass, PASS. Okay, otherwise we will get a without using this pass, we will get some error. Okay, compulsory you need to, if the block is to be empty, in that case compulsory you need to use pass after for block. Okay, so this is the continuous statement. So there is an example, cart 10, 20, 50, 500, 700, 50, 60. For item in cart, if item is greater than or equal to 500, then continue. Then what is the meaning of that? Here the continuous statement, whenever the continuous statement is encountered, it skips the current iteration. It continues the next iteration from that for block. Okay, so the possible output is like this. Here 10, 20, and whenever that item is 500, that is in cart, item 500 is greater than or equal to 500, then there is a continuous statement. That means it skips the print statement and continues the next iteration also. So what is the output of this program? 10, 20, 50, and 60. So this is the break statement. And return statement, we already know that the function returns some value. If it is a factorial function or something, if the function returns something, some value to some value, in that case we use what? Return statement. Okay, so these are all different types of statements. And next one is, what is a string in Python? A group of characters enclosed within a single or double or triple quotes is called a string. We can say the string is sequential collection of characters. So this is the there are different types of representation of the string. Strings are there. That is the syntax of representation of the string. Variable name equals to string 1, variable name equal to double quotes of string 2, and variable name equal to triple single quotes, and variable equals to triple double quotes. All these are valid syntaxes of creating a string. Okay, program to use single and double quotes inside a string. Okay, there are 3 strings are there, S1, S2, S3. Welcome to Python programming. Here the Python is enclosed with single quotes, and in second statement in the welcome, the Python is enclosed with double quotes, and in third statement the welcome Python is represented in single quotes, and there are triple quotes also there. Okay, so in that case the output will be represented like this: print S1, welcome to Python learning, and welcome to Python learning, and welcome to Python learning. Okay, so we represented in different ways of base. Okay, single quotes, double quotes, or triple single quotes, or triple double quotes. So I want to see some document here. Strings. The empty string in Python, if a string has no characters in it, then it is called an empty string. So here there is a program S1 equals to with the double quotes only. There is no spaces. Okay, that is represented as the empty string. Okay, print S1. If you want to perform this print S1, we will get what? Null value. Okay. Next one is accessing the string characters in Python. So here access string characters in Python by using indexing and slicing. So indexing means a position of the string characters where it stores, and then this is a string representation. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I are the some of the characters which are present in that particular string, and the index of the string first index is represented by 0 and 1 less than the size of this string. Now total 9 elements are there. So the first index is represented by 0 and last element is represented by index -1. Okay, here the Python supports both positive indexing and negative indexing also. So the last, if you want to access the last element, so it is represented by that index is represented by -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and -9 respectively. So this is the representation of the string. And Python supports two types of indexing, positive indexing and negative indexing. Okay, the position of the string characters can be a positive index from left to right direction. In this way, the starting position is 0. Negative indexing, the position of the string characters can be negative indexes from right to left direction. So in this way, we started with the position is represented as -1. So if you try to access characters in a characters of a string without a range index, then we will get an error, index error. So here, accessing a string with index in Python. So there is an hello world, print wish of 0. So wish of 0 means the first element of the, it displays first element of the hello world. What is that? Sorry, here output is wrong. Which then E. Okay. So this is the output of this hello world using the index. Accessing a string with float index in Python. So for example, I want to access 1.3 index value. Okay, so in that case, we will get a type error. String indices must be indices. Okay, all indexes are integers only. There is no floating point. I mean, the string index is not a floating point value. Okay, so in that case, we will get more type error. And accessing a string without of bound index. Okay, so here the wish equal to hello world, wish of 100. But here the hello world, the length of the hello world is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I want to wish 100th index value. So in that case, we will get index error, string index out of range. So all these errors are occurred at the time of running. So those type of errors are called runtime errors. Okay. Accessing a string with a negative index. So wish of -1. That means what? It is accessing the last element of the string, that is D, and -2 means L. Okay, next one is printing character by character using for loop. So for A in name, so name equals to Python. For A in name, print A. So it displays PYTHON line by line. Okay. So by default, the print statement, after printing the statement, the cursor is enter into next line. So that's why here the output will be displayed Python in vertical position. Okay. What is slicing in Python? So that means the slicing is nothing but substring of that particular string. Okay. The substring of a string is called a slice. A slice can be represented part of a string from a string or a piece of string. Okay. Here the syntax of the slicing of the string. So string name start colon stop, or string name start colon stop colon step. Okay, there are two different representations are there for slicing the if you want to access the substring of the given string. Okay, so first what is the starting point and what is the stopping point, and also we have to add one more parameter, that is step count. Okay, so start represents from starting index position and stop represents the ending index -1 position. Okay, by default, last index. Okay, and represents the increment, the position of the index while accessing. Now, what is the meaning of this? String name of n:m. That means accessing from nth character to mth -1 character, and including the first character but excluding the last character. Nm means first it includes n, and also it excludes the m value, last value. Okay, and n:m:s means index position while accessing. So, for example, there is a different cases. Wish equals to hello world. Wish of colon. So there is no starting point. There is no ending point. So in that case, we will it will execute what hello world from starting position to last position. It displays the it displays that word. Okay, wish 0:9:1. Accessing string from 0 to 8th means 9 minus 1 element. And wish 2:4:1. That means accessing from second to third character, not 4. Okay, third character. And each and every character bit is 1. Step count is 1. Here accessing entire in steps of 2. And wish :4 : accessing from 0th to 3 in steps of 1. And wish -4 : -1 accessing -4 to -1. So in this way, we will execute all substrings of the given string. Okay. This will not execute. Yes, practice missing. Okay, now we will get these are the okay. So our hello world is assigned to wish. Print wish of : That means it prints entire the given word. And next wish of : In that case also it will give entire word. Okay. Next wish of 0 to 9:1. Okay. 0 to 9:1 means what? It displays only 0 to 8 characters. Okay. Next 0 to 9, 2. That means it display alternate character. That means what? There is a gap between HEL. Alternative characters will be displayed. Okay. Like that remaining also executes. What is immutable in Python? Once we create an object, then the state of the existing object cannot be changed. Once it is created, that will not change it. So then the type of then the type of element is called immutable. Okay, this behavior is called immutability. Once we create an object, then the state of the existing object cannot be changed or modified. So this is behavior is called mutability. So if you want to change once it is created, then it is called mutability. We if we cannot change once it is created, then it is called a immutable nature. Okay. Now strings are immutable in Python. A string having mutable nature, once we create a string object, then we cannot change or modify the existing object. Okay. Here there is a name FDP print name. So if you want to print name of 0 means we will that prints ref, and name of 0 is equal to x. I want to assign instead of f, I want to assign x. So in that case, we will get in type error. Str object does not support item assignment because those statements are immutable in nature. There are mathematical operators are there, addition operator and multiplication operator. So addition is nothing but concatenation of two operators. Okay. So by using plus, we concatenate two operators. Here A equal to Python and B equal to Python programming. So print A plus B means here the plus acts as the concatenation operation. So what is the output? Python programming. Okay. And here Python, there is a string type, and second one is the B equal to 4. Okay. So if you want to print the ma'am, hello, hello. Okay. Next one is multiplication operator on strings in Python. Okay. Now A equal to Python and B equal to 3, A into B. So multiply that scalar element with Python 3 times. 3 into Python means 3 times the Python will be displayed on the screen. So here multiplication operator means the scalar operator, the scalar value is multiplied with some string value. So in that case, the output will be displayed the number of, the scalar number of times. Okay, so multiplication of two strings, it is not possible. It can't multiply sequence by non-int of type string. If you want to find the length of the string, we use what? Length of course. Course equals to Python. If you want to know the length of that Python string, so in that case, we use what? Length function, length of that course. To find substring in the main string. So main equals to, there is a input function, enter main string, and s equals to into enter substring. If s in main, so in is the operator, right? So in is the operator. If s in main, then s is found so in main string. Otherwise, it will not find in main string. It will display like that. Okay, there is a in operator and not in operators are there in Python programming. So not in the operator. So print B, not in apple. If it is right, then it gives the Boolean operator that is true. Okay, B, which is not in apple. Yes, it is correct. So then the output will be displayed as true. Now this is about some of the string related operations. Now I will move on to PPT, that is functions. Okay. So what is meant by function? A function is nothing but it is a set of statements which are that is the block of statement which perform a particular task. Okay. So a function is one that contains a group of statements or block of statements which perform a particular task. So the main advantage of the functions are maintaining the code is an easy way and code reusability. So if you want to write some function that is in, if you want to write a set of statements in some function, so that is to be, if you want to access that function several number of times, in that case we use what? Function concept. So that is code reusability, reusability, code reusability. Reuse that particular function as many times of as. Okay, types of functions in Python. There are many categories based on which we can categorize the function. This categorization is based on the who created it. Predefined functions and user-defined functions. So predefined functions are already present in predefined functions are also called as built-in functions, which are already present in the Python. User-defined functions. Those are the user-defined functions that is to be explicitly we have to provide, right? So function related terminology is name of the function, parentheses, colon symbol, body. So this is the syntax definition of the function. So we use here def is the if you want to create a user-defined function, we need to take one keyword, that is def followed by function name. If any parameters are there, we apply those parameters also. Okay, and there is a body of the function. If the function returns some value, so that return value is also mentioned if required. So this is the syntax of the function. Def display. So def is the function name. I want to display. I want to write the some display function. Def display. So print welcome to function. Wait. Yes. So no. What is the after executing this code? What will happen? Nothing will happen because that is the function. Only we have to define the function. We are not calling that function, right? So that's why here the output will be null. Okay, calling a function in Python. So the same as in C, C++, Java, we call the function by using that function name, right? So def display welcome to function. There is a print statement which is present in the display function. Okay, after that we call that function by using the function name. What is the function name here? Display. Okay, how many times it will display? 3 times. Display, display, display. So 3 times the function call is there. So 3 times the output will be executes. That is welcome to function and welcome to function that is to be executed. Okay. So this is the output of this program. So how many times the function is called? So 3 times. So 3 times the function displays the, executes that function definition, right? So when a function is called once, then it will execute once. If called twice, then it will execute twice and so on. Okay, define a function and call it with a different name. So I want to, there is a function name is one, welcome to function, but I want to call it as another name. So in that case, we will get what? Name error, name two is not defined. Okay, next one is Python with parameters in function with parameters in Python, function without parameters, function with parameters. Okay, so without parameters means while declaring the define the function, we need not specify any parameters. Then the type of function is called function without parameters in Python. Okay, so if you add some parameters while defining the function, that is comes under function with a parameters. Okay, function performing addition operation. DEF is the user defined. If you want to write a user defined function for performing addition of two numbers, okay, in that case first we have to write def keyword followed by function name and ab. Print sum of two values a plus b. Calling function, that is sum 20 and 30. Okay, so sum 20 and 30. So whenever this function call is there, the control transfers to the function definition and assign 20 to A and assign 30 to B. After that, there is a print statement, sum of two values equals to A plus B. Now it displays what? Sum of two, it displays the output as sum of two numbers is equals to A value is 20 and B value equal to 30. So 50 will be displayed. Sum of two values equals to 50, that is to be displayed. Check a number is even or odd by using a function. Okay, there is a function definition here, def, function name is checking, and we pass some number as a parameter. If number modulus 2 equal to 0, then print number is even. Else, it compulsory to follow the indentation. Here, the indentation is not in correct way. Okay. So this is the Definition checking number. If number is number modulus 2 equal to 0, print number is even, else print number is odd. Okay, there are two times we have to call that function, checking 12 and checking 31. So the what is the first output? The number is odd, and second one is, sorry, the number is even is first output, and the number is odd is in second output. Written keyword in Python. As mentioned above, the return statement is included in the function body and it returns some result after doing the operation. Some point about the return statement. Return is a keyword in the Python programming language. By using return, we can return the result, and it is not mandatory for a function to have a return statement. If there is no return statement, that means what? It returns none value. Okay, so this is the syntax of the written keyword. Okay, so after body of the instructions are right, after that we write the last element, the last instruction of the body is return statement. So these are all related to functions. The function can call another function in Python. It is also possible in Python that a function can call another function. So this is the function, first function, body of the function, and the function calls another function. That means the function itself consisting of another function. So def second function, and body of the second function, we can call the first function based on the requirements. Here the function followed by parentheses are missing in this syntax. Please notice that. Okay, so example here, def m1 is the function. M1 function consisting of first function information, and M2 function consisting of second function information, as well as we call the first function name also in this M2 function. Okay, so that means what is the output? So we simply call M2 function because the M2 function itself consisting of M1 function, right? So no need to call again M1 function. So what is the output of this program? So this is the function call, right? This is a function call M2 colon M2 parentheses. So whenever this function call is there, the function transfers, the control transfers to the function definition where it is locates. And there is a first statement, second function information, and there is one more statement that is M1 call, function call. Again, it moves to the M1 call and print first function information. So what is the output of this program? Second function information, after that first function information that is to be displayed on the screen. Okay, and types of arguments in Python functions, formal arguments and actual arguments. When a function is defined, it has some parameters within the parentheses. So those parentheses receives the value sent from the function call is called formal arguments, and actual arguments means the functions which we use in the function call. Okay, so what are the parameters we are using at the time of function call? Those parameters are called actual or called actual arguments. So this is the function, sum function, and then here AB are the parameters which are present in function definition. So those AB are called formal arguments, and here 10 and 50. So I mean XY are the present in function call. Those arguments are called actual arguments. Okay, there are the different arguments are there, types of arguments in Python: position arguments, keyword arguments, and default arguments, and keyword variable length arguments. So this is the position arguments function, def equal to sub x, def sub x comma y, print x minus y, sub 10, 20. That means what? The 10 is positional arguments. If there are 3 arguments in the function definition, then you need to send 3 arguments, right? While calling the function. The actual arguments will be received by the formal arguments in the same order as in the function call. So the actual argument, so x is take the value of 10 and y, 20 is assigned to y only. So in that order only we can assign those values. So that is called positional arguments. Okay, here how many parameters or arguments are required for executing the sub function? That is 2. But while calling the function, we assign 3 values. So in that case, we will get a type error. What is the type error? Sub takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Okay, so that is called type error. This is also one of the runtime error. So this program executes, this error is executes at the time of running. So those type of errors are called runtime errors. Okay, keyword arguments in Python. So there is an example here, keyword arguments, def cart item price. The cart function takes 2 parameters, that is item and price. Okay, at the time of calling, I want to assign key along with value. So that is called key or keyword arguments. So item, bangles is assigned to item and price is assigned to 20,000. Okay, so if you want to shuffle these 2 items, no worry about that. So because price equals to 1200, so 1200 is assigned to only price value, price variable only, and item equal to shirt. So wherever that item is there, that is to be, the shirt is assigned to that particular item. Okay, these type of arguments are called keyword arguments. Next one is positional as and keyword arguments. DEF details ID name. Now the details function consisting of two printf statements, and I want to call that function. That function name is details and name equal to something Anushka comma 1. Okay, name equal to Anushka comma 1. 1 is this is normal positional argument, and this is the name equal to Anushka. That is called keyword arguments, right? So in that case, we will get what? Syntax error, non-keyword argument after keyword argument. So first one, positional argument means the first position only ID number is required. Okay, but whereas in function call we assign some, first one is the keyword argument and second one is the positional argument. So in that case, we will get some error that is called syntax error. Default arguments in Python programming. If you don't assign, while declaring the function, we assign some values here. Item comma price equals to 20. Okay, at the time of calling, we will not specify price value. In that case, the default value is taken into consideration. Okay, cart item equal to pen. So here normally the cart function takes 2 arguments as parameters, but in this cart in this function call we assign only 1 parameter. Okay, that is item equals to pen. Okay, we didn't specify second parameter. So in that case, the price value is 20 by default. Okay. Variable length arguments in Python. That means what here? DEF, the variable length argument is an argument that can accept any number of values. Variable length. Okay, it accepts any number of values. The x comma star y, body of the function. So here the star y means that is called a variable length argument. We can pass any number of values to this y. Okay, so internally it provides the values will be represented in tuple. That why those values are represented in tuple form. Okay, there is a total cost x comma star y, sum equals to 0. If for in I in y, sum plus equals to I, print x plus sum. There is a calling function 100 comma 200 and the total cost 110 comma 226 311. So all are valid because here star y takes variable length of information, but x is takes only one value. So next one is the recursive function. And the recursive function, what is meant by recursive function? The function calls itself again and again is called a recursive function. While writing any recursive function, we need to remember two steps. Well, first one is base step and second one is the recursive step. Okay, so recursive function, the contains two steps. One is the base step and second one is the recursive step. In this factorial function, we have n equal to 0, result equals to 1. That means that is called a base step where that particular recursion stops or ends. So that is called base step. Otherwise, it will executes infinite number of times. Okay, df factorial of n. If n equal to 0, result is equal to 1, and else result equal to n into factorial of n minus 1. The function calls itself again and again is called a recursive function. Okay, so factorial of 5 means what? The factorial of 5 is nothing but it is a multiplication of first 5 natural numbers. So that is to be represented as 5 factorial is equals to 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So that is multiplication of first 5 natural numbers is called a 5 factorial. Okay, and n factorial means n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 and so on, but like the 1 into 2 into 3 into and so on, n minus 1 into n. So first n minus 1 factorial is represented by factorial of n minus 1. So that is to be represented like this. Okay, 3 factorial equal to 3 into 2 into 1. So I want to specify 3 into 2 into 1 is represented 2 factorial like that. Okay, so same function is executes several number of times. Then that function is called recursive function. Okay, so we need to write two steps in while writing the recursive function. First one is the base step and second one is the recursive step. Okay, next one is lambda function. So the name, that is also anonymous function. In Python, the name of the function is the mandatory item in the function definition as discussed earlier. But in function, we have a keyword called lambda, with which we can define a simple function in a single line without actually naming it. Such functions are called lambda functions. Okay, so lambda function, it defines only, it is defined in a single line. Okay, something like there is a lambda function in Python s equals to lambda a colon a into a. Okay, so the right side elements are lambda. After that, we have any number of variables. After colon, we have only one statement is there. Okay. So here a star a, that is the expression, that is a star a means a square. Okay. X equals to s of 4, that is assigned to some variable s. S of 4 means what? S of 4 is assigned to x. Then print x value, that is 16. Okay. Now, so lambda function is used to define a simple functions in a single line without actually meaning it. Such functions are called lambda functions. Okay, so now the points to remember while working with the Python lambda functions. The lambda functions can take any number of arguments, but should have only one expression, that is the right hand side of the column. Okay, the left hand side we have taken any number of arguments, and the right side contains only one expression. Should have only one expression. It takes the parameters and does some operations on them and returns the result, just the same as normal functions. And next one is coming to modules. So what is meant by module? In Python, a module means a saved Python file. So if you want to write some source code, after that we can save it as .py, py or .python extension. So then that type of Python file is called a module. Okay, there is a module here, x equals to 10, define sum of AB, print sum of two values, and define multiplication AB, print multiplication of two values. This is the one module that is to be saved as add multiplication.py. Now, this module is this program is treated as a one module. So this module is, this file is saved as add multiplication of py file is a module. Okay, module contains one variable and two functions. That means this module contains one variable and two functions. One is sum function, another one is a multiplication function. Okay, that is save it as multiplication.py. Okay, if you want to import that module in another function, in another program, what is import keyword in Python? If you want to use other members of a module in your program, then you should import that module by using the import keyword. After importing, you can access members by using the name of the template. Okay, here in this program, what is the program name here? The demo1.py, right? In this program, I want to reuse that add multiplication module. Okay, so already add multiplication is already available, which is present in add multiplication.py. Okay, I want to import that. I want to use that module in this program, that is demo1.py. Okay, in that case, we use what? We import that function add multiplication and print add multiplication.x. We have a add multiplication consisting of one variable, right? X. Okay, if you want to access that one, through that module only we can access that x value. Okay, print add multiplication.x, and we call sum and multiplication module, sum and multiplication functions which are present in that particular module. So through that module only we can call those functions. Okay, so that is about module. Renaming for alias a module in Python. Aliasing module in Python. So for example, here add multiplication is the a little bit longer. Then, so I want to assign rename to that particular add multiplication as calculator. Okay, then print calculator.x. So instead of add multiplication, we use calculator. Calculator.sum, calculator.multiplication of 3, 4. Next, from keyword in Python. We can import some specific members of the module by using the from keyword. Specific modules. Okay, in the multiplication, add multiplication module consisting of sum as well as multiplication functions are there. Okay, so I want to use only specific member of that particular module, a particular function. So in that case, in that case, we use what? From add multiplication module, import x comma sum. Okay, so print x and the sum of 10 comma 20. So here we I need to take only one function which is present in add multiplication module. Okay, in that case we use what? From keyword. Okay, from add multiplication module, import x and sum. Okay, next, import star in Python. Star means all members of the module. We have to import. Okay, that is about Python modules. And this is a package. Package is nothing but a folder or directory which represents a collection of Python modules. Okay, any folder or directory for Python to recognize as a package should contains initialization file. Okay, can be empty file. A package can contain sub packages also.
పాజిటివ్ వైబ్రేషన్ వెళ్తున్నాం అట్లీస్ట్ అది రివర్స్ అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు ఈయన ఒప్పుకున్నారు కదా, ఆయనే దగ్గరుండి డాక్టరింగ్ చేసి.
Okay, so that is about functions in Python, modules and functions in Python. Next one is
నీల్మర్ ఎప్పటి నుంచి ఒకటే పని ఎఫ్ఎఫ్సి కమిటీ కాదు, ఎఫ్ఎఫ్సి కమిటీ రిపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వాలంటే మీరు మాకు లెసన్స్ కావాలంటే ఆవిడకి గట్టిగా వచ్చింది. కదా
Okay, next one is data structures. Data structures are a way of organizing data so that it can be accessed more efficiently depending on the situation. Here, in this data structures flowchart divided into, data structures in Python divided into built-in data structures and user-defined data structures. In built-in data structures, we have list, tuple, dictionary, and set. And user-defined data structure consisting of linked list, tag, queue, tree, hash map, and graph. So in this example, I want to discuss about the only built-in data structures.
ఈ మధ్య పాత సామానుడు కొంటాడు వస్తున్నాడు.
Python data structures. In Python, we have 4 types of built-in data structures are there. List, tuples, sets, and dictionaries are very important sequence the data types. So list is a data structure that can store a group of elements or objects. List can store the same type as well as different types of elements.
అన్ని ఉంటాయి గర్ల్స్ హాస్టల్ ఓడబెట్టి ఉంటారు మన ఆయమ్మలు అందరూ.
So there are some properties of the list here. The list can store same type as well as different types of elements. That's why it is called an heterogeneous, and it is a dynamic in nature. We don't need to mention the size of the list while declaring. Okay, the size is always increase dynamically, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
పేపర్లు ఎప్పుడు కనిపించదు కాకినాడ. ఈరోజు చూడం ఆయన అసోసియేషన్ రాలేగా.
I will call.
కాకినాడ ఎంత ఫాస్ట్గా ఉంటారో అంత ఫాస్ట్ చేయించుకుంటూనే అవుతున్నాము మందు కూడా లేకపోతే
Yes, ma'am. Keep coming. Okay, so next topic is Python data structures. So there are four types of data structures are available in Python. So those are all built-in data structures. Lists in Python. So what is meant by list? So list is a data structure. So list can store same type as well as different types of elements. Then it is called as a heterogeneous data structure. Okay, and also it is a dynamic in nature, which means we does not need any does not. Okay, ma'am. I will see. Yes. Is it visible, ma'am? Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am? This document? Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So there are four types of data structures. Those are built-in data structures. So lists in Python. So here the list is a data structure that can store a group of elements or objects, and it is a heterogeneous in nature. But that means what? It can store same type as well as different types of elements, and it also dynamic in nature, which means we do not need to mention the size at the time of if you want to increase or decrease the size at the time of running. That is, I mean, increase dynamically. So that's why it is called a dynamic in nature, and its insertion order is preserved. That means in which the item are added to the list, that is that order only preserved. Okay, the output will be displayed. The list can store duplicate or I mean the list can accept duplicate elements, and here the index plays a major role if you want to access any element in that particular list. List objects are mutable. We already learned what is meant by mutable and what is meant by immutable. Mutable means we can modify or change the contents of list even after the creation, right? No. So this is the first one is what? Creating a empty list. That is, uh, so if you want to create a list, there are two ways of creation of the list. The first one is what? The list which is enclosed with square brackets and which are the elements are separated with the commas. So that is the one way of representation, or another way of creating a list is list function. Okay, list followed by parentheses. Okay, this is the creating an empty list. L1 equals to brackets. Simply we represent empty list. Okay, so then if you want to I mean after executing this program we will get this output. Okay, so after that we what type of this list is. So for that purpose we print one statement, print type of element, that is class list type. Creating list with elements. Next, names equals to something like some the list consisting of a combination of different data types, right? That's what is called a heterogeneous in nature, right? So here some string elements are there, some integer numbers are there, and boolean and none type also there. Okay, so we can access all the values. Next, creating a list in Python by using list function. We already said that that means what? The list, if you want to create a list, directly we assign some values which are enclosed with square brackets and separated with commas, that is to be assigned to some variable. That is a one type of creation of the list, or another type of creation of list is called list function. Okay, so first we need to create one first we have to take some values. That is, by using range function, we assign some values to the R. Range of 0, 10 means it displays 0 to 9, the first element, and the last element, the excluding 10. Okay, so now the R consisting of 0 to 9 elements, and then by using list function, we create a list. Okay, list of, and passing this R as a parameter, then print L. So we will get this output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, difference between list function and list class in Python. So the list is a predefined function which is present in Python. List function is used to convert other sequences or data types into list data types. The list is predefined class in Python. Once we create the list, then it is internally represented as the list class object type. So here we can check this by using the type function. Okay, so range of 0 to 10. That means the total 0 to 9 elements are present in this R. And next one is using list function by passing R as the parameter. Now the L becomes a list. Now if you want to know the data type of L, so we're using type function, type of, and passing L as the parameter. So in that way, we will have a class list. Next, there is a list that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is enclosed with square brackets and separated with columns. Now print I value. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will print it, and print before modifying of I of 0, what is the value, and after modifying the value of list L of 0 is. Okay, so that is here the list is mutable. So we can change the value of the list which is already created. Okay. Now, before modifying, what is the value of L of 0? That is what 1. After this statement, we will have one more statement, I of 0 equal to 20. That is 20 is assigned to I of 0. After modifying, what is the value of I of 0? That is for replacing 20 in place of 1, right? So after modifying, we will have this list. So that means what here, the lists are mutable in nature. If you want to, we can change and modify the list elements once it is created. Accessing list in Python, there are 3 ways in which we can access the elements in the list in Python. There are by using indexing, by using slicing operator, and by using loops. So first one, accessing list by using indexing in Python. So there are some elements are there. And we already learned that concept of index is the Python accepts both positive indexing and as well as negative indexing. If you want to access last element of the list, we use what? -1, right? So last but one, -2. Okay, like that. Okay, now here the names Prabhas, Prashant, and Prakash. Okay, so I want to print these values. Accessing these values. First print names as it is, the values are printed. After that, name of 0, name of 1, names of 2. Okay, so Prabhas and Prashant, Prakash, all these are executed, and print type of names, type names of 0, type names of 1, and type names of 2. So that is if you want to know the type of that variables. Okay, by using this type function, we know what are the variables, what type of variables it is. Okay, next, list index out of range error. So here there are only the names of 0, 1, 2. There are 3 elements are present in the list. So if you want to access 10th index element, so in that case we will get a error, that is list index out of bounds. So here name of 0 is Prabhash is displayed, and name of 1 Prashant is displayed, and names of 2 Prakash is displayed. After that, there is a name of 10 is there. So name of 10, because our list consisting of only 3 elements. So in that case, if you want to, in that case, we want to access names of 10. So then it will get an error, that is what index error, list index out of bounds range. So because Python is the interpreted language, that's why here interpreted language means it takes one by one, it takes line by line execution, right? So that's why first three are printed as it is, and fourth print statement we have an error because that 10th index element is not present in the list. So that's why we will get a list index out of range. Okay, accessing list by using slicing operator in Python. So slicing operator. So that is nothing but we already learned in strings slice operator, that is substring. You want to get the substring or sublist of the main list. So list name, start, stop, and step size. Start means starting of the element, and stop is the ending of the element, and step size count of the each and every element, the gap. Okay, here n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, print n, and print n of 2, 5, and 2 is the step count. Okay, so 2 starting from 2 and ending with 4. Okay. No, that's why I mean second index. Second index means 3, and last but one index is 5. So 3, 5 will be displayed, and the difference between is 2. Okay. Next, accessing list by using loops in Python. So first we create the list. And is assigned to A, and for x in A, print x. So the first element by default, the first statement is taken as 100, second one is 200, 300, 400. X will take in first one 100, 200, 300, 400 respectively. Okay, now print x value is what? 100, 200, 300, 400. So accessing the list by using the loops also. Next, A equal to 100, 200, 300, 400. Now x equals to 0 while x is less than length of A. What is the length of A here? 4. X is value 0. If y here in this case we use what? While loop, right? While 0 is less than 4. This, the condition is true. Then print A of 0. What is A of 0 element? 100. And A of 1 element is 200, 300 like that. Okay, it will displace. So important functions or methods of list in Python. So there is a length function. If you want to know the length of the list, using length function, we will get length of the list count. So number of times that particular number occurs. Okay, that is called frequency of that number. So in that case, we use what? If you want to know the frequency of the number which is present in that particular list, in that case, we use count function. N dot count of 5, N dot count of 3, N dot count of 2. So count of 5, how many numbers are there? Count of 5, 5 will be occur 3 times. So the output will be 3. Next, append method in Python. So append method, we can add elements to the list. So here, so starting L value is empty, then L dot append of Ramesh, L dot append of Suresh, L dot append of Naresh. Now print I. Okay, in that case, in each and every instruction, the Ramesh and Suresh, Naresh are added into this empty list. Next one is insert method. Insert method means this is also adding an element to the list, but here the insert method takes 2 arguments as input. One is the index and the other is the element. So in which position the element will be added. Okay, so the insert function takes what? So in the first position, I want to add 76. So in that case, first one is 0, index element is 0, and value of the value added in that particular at that particular index is 76. Okay. So difference between append and index. Append means we can add elements, and insert means insert, it adds elements in the particular index. Okay. Extend method. So extend method, the method items in one list can be added to the other. extend L1 equals to 1, 2, 3, and L2 equals to Rahul, Rakesh, Rajia, and print before extend L1 and before extend L2, L2 dot extend of L1. So print after extend L1 is L1, after extend L2 is L2. So here extend method means we can add two lists. In that case, we use what? Extend method. So L2 dot extend of L1 means Rahul, Rakesh, Rajia, and then output will be 1, 2, 3. Rahul, Rakesh, Rajia along with 1, 2, 3 will be the output. 1 minute, ma'am. Next one is remove method. So if you want to remove any element from the list, we use what? Remove function, n dot remove of 1. Okay. Next one is ordering the elements in the list. First one is reverse method in Python. The reverse method is the method reverses the order of list elements. Now n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, print n dot reverse. That means the output will be displayed what? 2. 2, comma, 4, comma, 3, comma, 2, comma, 1. Okay, so this is the output of after reversing the list. Sort method. So sort means arranging or sorted order. So if you want to arrange the elements in the list in ascending order or some sorted order. So in that case, we use what? Sort function. So n equals to 1, 4, 5, 2, 3 is the list, n dot sort and print n. Okay. Again, s dot, so this is the integer type of values. Now, what is the output of this program? So here the print n consisting of the list consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the output. And then second here, so based on the alphabetical order, it's sorted. Okay. So mathematical operators on list. Concatenation operator, that is represented with plus operator. Okay, plus operator concatenates two list objects to join them and returns a single list. For this, both the operands should be list type, else we will get a type error. Both the operands should be a listed, then only this will occur. Otherwise, we will get a type error. Okay, in this concept. So what is the output? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the output. And in this example, there is a type error because first list consisting of 1, 2, 3 and second list is a string type of value. So multiplication operator in list. The star operator works to repeat elements in the list by the set number of times. So like the scalar, here A equal to 1, 2, 3 is the list, print A. And if you want to, I want to multiply each and every element with, multiply with 2. Okay, in that case, what is the output of this program? Colon 2, 4, 6 is the output of this program, right? So each and every element is multiplied with 2. Right? Comparison of lists in Python. So here the first print list is 1, 2, 3. That is less than 2, 2, 3. That means element-wise comparison is done here. Okay. Please wait. I want to share one more document. In the document, outputs also available. Please wait just a moment. Ma'am. Yes. Is it visible, ma'am? So sorry. Scalar multiplication operator means so 2 times repeated that we that list is repeated twice. Okay, 2 into A means 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is the output. I'm so sorry. Next one is comparison of lists in Python. Okay. So here in this example, comparison of operators, comparison of list, 1, 2, 3 is the one list and 2, 2, 3 is the one list. I want to compare these two lists, 1, 2, 3, which is less than 2, 2, 3. Is it correct? So here, initially the first two items are compared. So what are the first two items? Here the first element of the list is 1 and second first element is 2. 1 is less than 2. So then automatically the output will be true. Okay, only the first element is only compared. Okay, if they are equal, then the next two elements are compared. Okay, one is less than, next one is 1 is less than 1. No. Okay, 2 is less than 2. No. 3 is less than 3. No. So in that case, we will get what? False. False. Okay, next one is 1 less than or equal to 1. Yes, the first element is compared. Okay, both are equal. So therefore, the result is true. Now 1, 2, 3 is less than 1, 2, 4. So 1 is less than 1? No. So obviously the output will be. I think now 1, 2, 3 is less than 0 to 3. 1 is less than 0? No. So the output will be false. I think here equal to operator is missing. Okay. Next 1, 2, 3 is equals to 1, 2, 3. Yes. So it will result true value. Okay, so there are comparison of lists. There are 4 lists are there. X equals to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Y equal to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And both are smaller cases. And Z is capital letters. And A is contains four numbers. Okay, print X equals to Y. Is it equal? Yes. Both are lower cases and it consisting of same number of elements. So it is represented as, it is displayed as true. And if X equals to Z, X is 3 elements and Z equals to capital ABC. So because Python elements are case sensitive, right? So Python programming is case sensitive. So we will get, so this ABC is not same as capital ABC. Small ABC is not same as capital ABC. So the output will be false. And X equals to A. Now X values are ABC and the length of the list is 3. Here the A length list is 4. So obviously the value is false. Next, membership operators in list. We already learned in operator and not in operator. So how to perform these operations in list. Okay, so there is an example X equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now print 20 is in X. So I want to print that particular element is in X or not. So in that case, we use what? In operator. 20 in X equals to true, 20 is not in X, false, and 90 in X is false because the 90 is not available in X. Okay, it will result false value, 90 not in X, and it will give true value. So nested list in Python. That means what? The list consisting of another list. Okay, it is possible to take list as an element in another list. Let us understand with an example here. A equal to 80, 90, B equal to 10, 20, 30, K. And print of B of 0, B of 1, B of 2, B of 3. Now B of 0 is 10, B of 1 is 2, and B of 3 is 30, and B of 3 is what? A. A is nothing but 80, 90. That is the list. That means what here? The B list consisting of one of the element as a list type. Okay, so that is about list. Next, coming to next one is tuple. Okay, so tuple is a tuple is a pair of elements. I mean, a tuple consisting of parentheses which are enclosed with each and every element is enclosed with separated with commas. Okay. Now characteristics of the Python tuple. So insertion order is preserved. That means what? The order in which the elements are added to the tuple, that order in which the output will be displayed. Immutable. So immutable means once created, we cannot modify the content. Okay. And tuple can store duplicate values also entertained. Okay. So tuple can store the same type of objects and different types of objects as well as, and so that is also a heterogeneous data structure. Index plays a main role in tuple, and index supports both positive and negative indexes. We can create a tuple by using parenthesis symbol. Parenthesis is optional, and using parenthesis also we can create the tuple, and without using also we can create the tuple. So there is some example here. So inside the tuple, the elements are separated with commas. Inside the tuple, every object should be separated with comma as the separator. Okay, so this is employee is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and same type of objects, employee IDs. Okay, type of employee IDs is here tuple. So this is which is enclosed with parentheses, not square brackets. If it is square brackets, and it is treated as a list. If it is parentheses, it is treated as the list. Sorry, what is that? Tuple. So parentheses is optional for tuple. Simply we can assign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to employee IDs. Then the employee ID becomes a tuple. So without using parentheses also we can create the tuple. Okay. And different elements in tuple. So we can, tuple can access same type as well as different types of elements also entertained, right? One RGB, then some 1000.123. So different types of objects. So that is also displayed. Next. Single value tuple. So a tuple consisting of single value, is it considered a tuple or not? So it is not considered as a tuple. Okay, it is not. It is a considered as a what is the value which is present in that particular single element which is in parentheses. It is treated as a. It is not treated as a tuple. Okay, so if you want to use a single element treated as a tuple means compulsory you need to you need that parenthesis consisting of that element along with comma symbol is very important. If it is comma is there, then it is treated as a tuple. Otherwise, it is not treated as tuple. Okay, so this is a name example. Single value tuple. Is it a single value tuple or not? We will check, right? Name equal to Sushant is the tuple name, print name, and type of name. So here type, what type of name it is? It is a string, but not tuple. Okay, so single tuple value. So here 11 is there, which is enclosed with parentheses, but it is not a tuple. It is a integer type. So how do you represent a single value as a tuple? A tuple name along with element name along with comma. So whenever we keep this comma, then only it is treated as a tuple. Okay, so type of name, now it becomes a tuple type. If you want to create a tuple consisting of one element, so in that case we use we represent we are creating the single element tuple like this only. Okay, write that single element followed by comma is important. And empty tuple, single value tuple, tuple with group of values, and by using tuple function. So these are all different types of operators which are present in I mean, there are different types of notations are there. Empty tuple in Python. So, so this is the tuple that does not contain any value. Okay, so that is represented as empty tuple. Okay, single value tuple using parenthesis comma is mandatory, and without using parenthesis comma is mandatory. Okay. Using parenthesis comma is mandatory, and without using parenthesis comma is mandatory. Here, EMP ID is equals to 11 comma. So now EMP ID acts as a tuple, and the STD ID is equals to 120. So that is also treated as a single value. Okay, tuple with group of values. Okay, this one is the tuple as well as this one is also tuple without specifying the parenthesis. By using tuple function, okay, first we need to create one list L1, 11, 22, 20, 33, which is enclosed with square brackets. Then that is treated as a list. One of the parameter in tuple. Then the tuple becomes the T becomes a tuple. Okay, tuple. Range of 1, 10, 2 directly. We assign range function as the one of the parameter of this tuple function. So range 1, 10, 2 means what is the output of range function? 1 to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And that is assigned to tuple function. Then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 treated as a tuple. Okay, indexing, slicing operator, and loops, different ways to access tuples in Python. Okay. Here also indexing is important, positive indexing as well as negative indexing, because the Python accepts both positive as well as negative indexing. So important methods and functions of tuples in Python: length function, count function, index method, stored function, sorted function, min max functions. So length function means it returns the length of the tuple, and count method is occurrence of the given element in the tuple, that is frequency of that particular number. How many times that number is present in that particular tuple. So because the tuple accepts duplicate values. So index method in tuples. Index of first occurrence of the given element. Index of first occurrence of the given element. So the index element returns first occurrence of the, index of the first occurrence. Here, index of 10 means what? The 10 is present in the 0th index. Okay, so that is to be displayed as the output. Next, T dot index of 10. Okay, that is to be kept in comments. Now T dot index of 30. So that is not there in this tuple. So that's why we will get value error. So all these things are done at runtime only. So these type of errors are called runtime errors. Sorted function tuples, using sorted function of and passing that tuple as the parameter, sorted of T. Then we will get what before, first this tuple is assigned to T, and after sorted that particular T, that is assigned to T1. Now print T and print T1. So print T1, T is consisting of as it is values, and print T1 consisting of sorted values. Sorted method in tuples. Okay, sorted comma T comma reverse equals to true. So the sorted function takes two values as the parameter. One is the tuple, next one is the reverse is equals to true. So whenever we use this reverse equal to true, then it's sorted in ascending order. Okay, so normally sorted function always gives the ascending order, whereas in reverse equal to, if we want to make one of the parameter as the parameter reverse equals to true, then it gives ascending order of the tuple. And min and max functions. So min function returns minimum value of the tuple and max function returns maximum value of the tuple. Okay, these are the differences between list and tuple. So list is a group of comma separated values which are square brackets, and square brackets are mandatory. Whereas in tuple is a group of comma separated values with parentheses, and parentheses are optional. Okay, list objects are mutable. That means once created, we can perform any changes. Whereas in tuple, that is immutable, we can't change the values of the content which is already created. If the content is not fixed, then keep on changing. That is called what? Dynamic nature in nature. Okay, if the content is fixed and never changes then we should go for tuples. List objects cannot be used as a keys for dictionaries because keys should be hash table and immutable. So all the keys are, immutable means the objects cannot be used as keys because keys are immutable in nature. Tuple objects can be used as keys for dictionaries because keys should be hashable and immutable. Next one is set. Set function. So we already know the set. What is meant by set? A set is a collection of well-defined objects. Okay, insertion order, these are the properties. Insertion order is preserved. Indexing and slicing are not allowed for this set, and sets are store the same and different types of elements or objects. And set objects are mutable. Mutable means once we create, we can perform any changes in it. Okay, set operation. Here also we have set operations are set is defined collection of elements which are enclosed with curly braces, and all elements separated by comma elements in set. Okay, square brackets is for list, and parentheses is tuples, and what is that? Curly braces for sets. Okay. So these are the different types of elements which are present in this particular set: print s and type of s. Type of s function returns the type of that particular set is. Creating a set using range function. Set of range of 5. So the range of 5 consisting of what? 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, excluding 5. Okay. Now print s means it gives what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are enclosed with curly braces. Okay, so here the set consisting of 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 10. So there are repeated elements are there. If you want to print that S, we will get only distinct values of that particular set only. Okay, it displays only distinct values 40, 20, 30, and 10. So here the 10 is repeated 3 times. But here it takes only distinct values only. Okay, exact one value only it takes. Difference between set function and set class in Python. Set is a predefined function in Python. Set function is used to create a set elements or object. It takes the sequence as the parameter. And here, the set function takes the sequence as the parameter. The range function gives what? Sequence values, right? 0 to 9. Okay, that is assigned to S, and print S. Print S means here 0 to 9 elements are displayed and which are enclosed with curly braces. Okay, once if we create a set, then internally the created set will be represented as a set, and class type which can be checked by using the type function. So if you want to know the type of that particular S, so in that case we use what? Type of S. Creating an empty set in Python be equal to simply first added curly braces, after that print d. So print d means what? What is the output of this print statement? Just simply curly braces, empty curly braces. Okay, using set function also we can create the set. The important methods of these sets in Python. First one is what? Add of X. So that means what? Add element to the existing list. Okay. Next one is update X comma Y method. Here S value is S is the tuple type and L is the list type. S dot update. What is S? S is the set and update of L means so we can update the value of set. Okay, 10, 20, 30 and 40, 10, 50, 20, 60, 30 will be displayed on the screen. Okay. Added to the list. Okay, update method. S equals to 10, 20, 30 and L equals to 40, 50, 60, 10 and update L comma range of 5. What is L? 40, 50, 60, 10 and range of 5 consisting of what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so then update the yes list. Print yes. Yes means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 40, 10, 20, 50, 20, 60, 30 are displayed on the screen. Next difference between add and update methods. We can use add to add individual items in the to the set, whereas we can use update method to add multiple items to the set. S dot add of 10. So that is valid. S dot add of 10, 20, 30. So that is invalid. Only individual items are added by using the add function, whereas update function, it can use multiple items to the list. Next, copy. Already S consisting of a set consisting of 10, 20, 30 and S1 equals to S dot copy. So same copy is assigned to S1. In that case, we use S dot copy function. Pop method. So here the S consisting of 40, 10, 30, 20 and print of S means as it is the set will be displayed on the screen. Print S of pop means the first element of the pop will be displayed. Pop from the set. After that, we will print the S value. What is the value? 10, 20, 30. Next, remove method. So S equals to 40, 10, 30, 20. Then S dot remove of 30 is what? So that 30 will be removed from the list. So remove of 50. If you want to remove 50, which is not present in that particular set, in that case, we will get what? Key error. So 50 is not available in that particular set. Next, discard X. Discard 10. So that means it removes the specified element from the set. If the specified element is not present in the set, then we won't get any error. Okay, so in that case, here the set consisting of 10, 20, 30. S dot discard of 10. So if it is 10 is there in the set, then it discards the 10. Otherwise, if that element is not there in the list, it is not, it is not reflected anything. It is not getting any error. Simply display again 20 and 30. Okay. Now clear method in Python sets. Clear method S equals to 10, 20, 30. Print of S dot clear means the set will be empty. All the elements are cleared from that set. Okay. Then if you want to print that set, we will get what? Set is empty. Just simply set functions there. Next, mathematical operations on sets in Python. Union. So union of two elements. So set operations. Union, intersection, set difference, right? Union method in the set. So what is the syntax? X dot union of y or x or y. X dot union of y or x or y. So union method x equals to 10, 20. So we have to take two sets and perform union among between those two sets. So print of x dot union of y. So what is x? 10, 20, 30, 40 and 30, 40, 50, 60. If any duplicate values are there, so that is discarded. Okay. So only distinct values are displayed in the out. Insertion method, that is common element of both the sets. So in that case, what is the logic here? X dot intersection of y. X dot intersection of, there are two sets, and print x dot intersection of y. That is print x and y. Okay. So intersection consisting of what? What are the values present in intersection? That is 40 and 30 will be displayed on the screen. So there are two syntaxes are there: x dot intersection y, or simply x and y is also there. Difference method in Python, that is called x dot difference of y or x minus y. So x difference of y means the value which is present in x which is not present in y. So what are the values present in x and not in y? That is 10, 20. That is displayed on the screen. And print x minus y. That is also 10, 20. And print y minus x. Y minus x means the values which are present in y but not in x. So that is what are the values? 50 and 60 will be displayed on the screen. Okay, symmetric difference. So x dot symmetric underscore difference of y, or x cap y is also. There are two different syntaxes are there. Okay. Now x dot symmetric difference means what? X minus y union y minus x. Okay. And membership operators in sets. Membership means in and not in operators. So there is a set. Okay, now we want to print that total set, that is using print of S statement. Print 1 in S. Is it 1 is present in S? Yes. S means it returns true value. Otherwise it does not return. Otherwise it returns false value. Okay. Now print S in S. Is it there? Yes. Element which is in S? No. Okay, so that's why it returns false value. And print 2 not in S. Is it 2 not in S? No. So what is the output? False. Okay, and last built-in dictionary, built-in data type, data structures is Python, dictionary in Python with examples. And what are the characteristics of dictionary? So first, what is a dictionary? Dictionary is a pair of elements in which the first element is a key, and first element is key along with value associated with that particular key. So that is the definition of the dictionary. Dictionary will contain data in the form of key value pairs. Key and values are separated by colon, and one key value pair can be represented as an item. Duplicate keys are not allowed, and duplicate values are allowed, but keys are not allowed. And heterogeneous objects are allowed for both keys and values. And insertion order not preserved, and dictionary objects having mutable in nature. And we will discuss all these things in the coming section. Okay, dictionary objects are dynamic, and indexing and slicing concepts are not applicable. So this is the syntax of the dictionary. D equal to, within curly braces, key 1 colon value 1. That means what? This is the value 1. The value is associated with corresponding key 1. Okay, value 2, key 2, value 2, key and value n. Okay. Now here there is an example. D equal to 1 colon Ramesh, 2 colon Arjun, 3 colon Nirikshan. Print D. Okay. So the value 1, the key value 1 consisting of Ramesh, and second key consisting of Arjun, and third key consisting of Nirikshan. Okay, here key values are not all are unique type, whereas in values are values are duplicate values are entertained in dictionary. So again, create empty dictionary and equal to first curly braces D of 1, D of 2, D of 3, and print D. So this is to be dictionary, empty dictionary. Create empty dictionary and adding some elements. Accessing dictionary elements. Same here. Accessing dictionary elements by using values, by using keys of that particular values. Okay, if you want to access second key value, so in that case we use D of 2, D of 3. So 1, 2, 3 are the keys of that particular dictionaries. Okay, if you want to access D of 10, but the 10th key is not available in dictionary, so that's why we will get a key error. Okay, how to handle this key error? So there are 1, 2, 3 keys are there. I want to access 400 key. Okay, so in that case, how to handle that type of error? Okay, so here we use what? There is a if statement. 400, is it in D? No. Okay, print D of 400. If it is not there, then else part will be executes. What is the else part? Key not found. So handle key error in Python dictionary. Next one is updating a dictionary in Python. So there is a dictionary consisting of 3 records, 1, 2, 3, and a whole dictionary. So I want to print the existing dictionaries as an old dictionary, and I want to assign Hari. Hari is the D of 10. Okay, in that case, we use what? Add key value 10 colon Hari paid to dictionary. So that is D. So we will get Hari as the one of the key value paid. And what is the key value? 10. This one. Next, updating dictionary. So already the dictionary consisting of 3 elements. I want to update the third key value, Mahesh, is replaced with Hari. And so in that case, D of 3 equal to Hari. So after that, updating value of the key 3 pair to dictionary, D value is printed. So here, this is the updation of the key value. Removing or deleting elements from the dictionary in Python. So DEL key. So DEL followed by dictionary name and key value. So which key is deleted first? Okay. As per the syntax, it deletes and entries associated with the specified key. If the key is not available, then will we get key error. By using DEL function also, we can delete elements. And by using clear function, clear method removes all the entries in the dictionary. Clear method removes all entries in the dictionary. Okay. So clear, it clears all the values from this dictionary. Okay, after clearing the entries in the dictionary, now the dictionary is what? Empty. Okay, so delete total dictionary object in Python. So in that case, we use what? DELD. Okay, total dictionary without any empty dictionary. With empty dictionary also, we have to delete. In that case, we use what? Delete keyword. Delete followed by D. Okay, these are the different types of functions and methods which are available in functions of dictionary in Python. Okay, distinct, length, clear, get, pop, pop item, keys, items. So there are repeated methods are there, copy methods. So these are the some of the functions and methods of dictionary in Python. So next one is next one is object. One of the features of Python is object-oriented programming. Um, I will share. Okay, so next one is object-oriented programming. So one of the features of Python programming is object-oriented, right? So that means everything in this world can treat it as an object. Okay, so here the object-oriented programming is a methodology which uses concepts of class and objects to program. So what is meant by class and what is meant by object? So a class is nothing but, is it visible, madam? So the features of object-oriented programming is class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, full mass, and abstract class. These are the some features of object-oriented programming. First one is the class. Class is a blueprint or template which contains attributes. It is a specification of the properties and action of objects. Okay, class is a collection of members and methods. It is a blueprint and it is a template. It is, it is a blueprint of and template for the creating objects. Okay, and it is not physically existing thing. Okay, and it is an abstraction. And object is a physically existing thing, and object is an instance of the class. Okay, example of object is what here, a class. So this is the defining class, name of the class, and documentation string. And there is some constructors, variables, and methods. And the variables are instance variables, static variables, and local variables. And in the same time, instance methods and static methods and class methods. Okay. So here employee is the class. So how to define a class? A class followed by class name, employee followed by colon. Okay. And then the class, the body of the class consisting of one method, that is the display method, and the display method consisting of, sorry, print statement. Now this class, this employee class consisting of one of the method is display, and the display consisting of hello, my name is some Shiksha. Okay. And this is the definition of the class. A class is a collection of members and methods, and it is a blueprint, and it is a template for creating the objects. And object is a physically existing thing, and it is an instance of the class. So for example, if you want to take a vehicle is a class, and lorry is a kind of vehicle, and a lorry, car, and bike, these are all the different types of vehicles which are comes under different kinds of vehicles, right? So here vehicle acts as the class, and the specific vehicle, that means what, car, bus, lorry, truck, these are all specific objects of vehicle class. Okay. There is a self variable. A self is a default variable that refers to the current class object and current class instance of the class. Okay, so generally by using self, we can initialize the instance variables inside the constructor. What is meant by constructor? So constructor is initialize the instance variables of the class, and here the constructor is represented with the init method. Okay, init method. The init method consisting of one of the first parameter is what? Self. Okay, by using self variable, we can access instance variables and instance methods. It can also be some other name rather than self, but the most commonly used and preferred is self. Okay, now objects in Python. So this is the employee class. The employee class consisting of one of the method is display method. And the display method consisting of print statement. So compulsory you need to follow indentation. Okay, so this is the one class, employee class, that consisting of display method. So whenever how to create a object of that particular employee. So that is the object name. This is the variable name, employee object, that is equals to employee. So this is the creation of the object. So whenever we create the object of the class, internally it calls the constructor. Okay, it is used to assign the instance variables of the class. So employee obj dot display. Okay, now we will get an output. Hello, my name is Shiksha. Okay, now constructors in Python. So here we discuss constructors. Constructor is nothing but it is initialize the instance variables of the class, and constructor is a method which is name it as here two underscores init two underscores. That is the method for creating the constructor. The method's first parameter should be a self. So this is the constructor creation. Here there is a second underscores are missing. Okay, please note it down. Is constructor mandatory in Python? So automatically, whenever we call the object of that particular class, automatically the constructor is called. So no, there is no need to write the explicitly for constructor. Okay. So at the time of object creation, automatically the constructor is called. So there is no need to write explicitly. So if you want to write explicitly, we can write. So can a constructor be called explicitly? Yes, we can call constructor explicitly with object name. So since the constructor gets executed automatically at the time of object creation, it is not recommended to all call it explicitly. Okay, so how to create a constructor? So this is a constructor is a method. So def space underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. Self is the one of the parameter. So that is always refers to the current class current class object. Okay, print constructor. So that means what we are the def function consisting of print constructor. Now employee. Now here emp equal to employee and emp dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore. So there is no need to call explicitly for constructor. Whenever we create the object of the class, we can automatically call the constructor. Okay, so the constructor is not mandated to be included. In case if you haven't included a constructor, then Python will internally include an empty constructor. We can check this by using dir class name built-in methods. So dir class name. So that is to be typed in the Python command prompt. We will get a constructor names. Okay, next. Okay, this is the sample is the class, and the sample class consisting of one of the method is M1. The M1 method consisting of M1 is the instance method called with object name. So here this is the creation of the object s equals to sample. Okay, and s dot. So whenever we create the object, automatically internally it calls the constructor, right? S dot M1. So M1 is the method which is available in sample class. So if you want to access M1 class, compulsory you need to create the object of that particular class through dot operator only. We can call that particular M1 method. Okay. So if you want to see that what is that constructor, so print the air of sample, and then we will get a constructor name. Next, parameterized constructors in Python. Okay, so this is the employee class. This init method is constructor is init method is the constructor. The first element of the parameter is self, and ID is the instance variable. Okay, so here ID is the parameter of this constructor. Okay, self dot ID. Self dot ID means what? The present class ID, that is equals to ID. ID is the, so the value is assigned to self.id. Self.id means instance variable, present class instance. It refers to the present class instance variable. Okay. See, what is the difference between method and constructor? So methods are used to operations, used to do operations or actions. Constructors are used to initialize the instance variables of the class. And method name can be any name, and constructor name should be init method. Methods we should call explicitly to execute. Constructor is automatically whenever we create the object of the class. Okay. So next one is the next topic is inheritance. Inheritance means executing or creating new classes from already existing classes. So the already existing class is known as parent class or super class or base class. Okay, the newly created class is called subclass, base class, and then subclass, child class, and derived class. Okay, so the main importance of the inheritance is code reusability. Okay, the main advantage of inheritance is code reusability. Time taken for application development will be less, and redundancy, repetition of the code is not. Code can be reduced. Okay. So implementation of the inheritance. While declaring subclasses, we need to pass superclass name into subclass parentheses. So in Java programming, if you want to write the inheritance concept, we use the extends keyword, whereas in Python is simply while creating the subclass, we need to pass superclass name into subclass parenthesis only. So here in example, class 1. So the class 1 is the normal class, and we create one more class, that is the 2, and pass 1 as the parameter. Okay, which is enclosed with parentheses. So this is called inheritance. Okay, class 2 of 1. So we need to pass superclass name into the subclass parentheses. Okay, so by creating the subclass, and if you want to accept, or if you want to acquire properties from the superclass, we use this notation. Okay, so while declaring the subclass, we need to pass superclass name into subclass parentheses. Okay. Okay. Now here the 1 is the class and 2 is the subclass. Now the subclass 2 accepts the superclass methods. So the subclass consisting of the class consisting of both M2 and as well as M1, because the subclass acquires the properties of the superclass, that is one. Okay, the one consisting of M1 method. So the two subclass consisting of both M1 method as well as M2 method. So we have to create object of subclass only. We can access both the methods of M1 and as well as M2. Okay, so that's why we create the object C equal to 2. 2 is then this is subclass or subclass. Okay, C equals to 2, then C equals C dot M1. So if you want to call M1 M2 by using this subclass method. Okay, that is about the inheritance. So there are different types of inheritances are there: single inheritance, multi-level, multiple, hybrid, hierarchical inheritances are there. Okay, single inheritance means the single inheritance consisting of one child and one parent class. Okay, the B class is derived from one. So the single inheritance consisting of only two classes, one is superclass and one is the subclass. So the B class is acquires the properties of the A class. So this is called single inheritance. So the single inheritance consisting of only one base and one derived class. Okay, next one is this is a hierarchical inheritance. Here a hierarchical inheritance means here the B class is the subclass of A and C class is the subclass of B. That means the B class is acts as a superclass as well as derived class. That means the derived class is acts as both super and subclass is called a multi-level inheritance. Okay, there is a grandfather, father, and child relationship. Okay, now B acts as, so while considering these two, B as the parent of C, and while considering these two, B as the derived class. Okay, so that means what? In multi-level inheritance, I mean, the subclass acts as a both parent class as a derived class. In that type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. So this is the multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance means the derived class is derived from more than one class is called multi-level inheritance. The derived class is derived from more than one base class is called multi-level inheritance. Sorry, multiple inheritance, sorry. Okay, and hybrid inheritance means what? Combination of more than one inheritances is called hybrid inheritance. Okay. So hierarchical inheritance means what? The derived class is more than one derived class is derived from one base class is called multiple, I mean, hierarchical inheritance. Okay. Next one is, so I want to share one more from this one. So next one is exception handling. So we already exception handling. Exception handling is in Python is one of the powerful mechanism to handle runtime errors. We already shown some of the runtime errors in the in previous sessions, right? Okay, so exception handling in Python is one of the powerful mechanism to handle runtime errors so that the normal flow of application can be maintained. So, for example, there is a set of so this is one. Okay. So there are some statements are there. Statement 1 to statement 10. So there is an exception occurs at fifth statement. So exception is nothing but it is a runtime error. Okay. So divided by zero error. Divided by zero is means that is not defined, right? So array index out of bounds, type error. So we already discussed those concepts in while delivering the lecture, right? Deliver the lecture. Okay, so here there are some 10 statements are there. At that fifth statement we have some code some exception occurs, something like A equal to B by 10, B by 10, B by 0, 10. Okay, in this fifth statement, we will get an exception. Okay, so always the execution starts from 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on like that. Okay, at the fifth statement, we have an exception. A equal to B by 0. It is not defined. So at the time of this fifth statement, the control exists abnormally. Okay, the rest of the code will not execute. Okay, so the rest of the code will not execute. So if you handle this exception, then the rest of the code will execute as it is. So that's why we use what we will handle the exception. The core advantage of exception handling is to maintain the normal flow of application. An exception normally disturbs the normal flow of the application. That is why we need to handle the exception. So this is the fifth statement. It may occur an exception. So if that particular exception is handled, there is no worry about remaining statements. All remaining statements are executed normally. But if the exception is occurs and which is not handled, then the rest of the code will not execute. The control terminates abnormally. So that is the, so that's why we need to handle the exception if any exceptions are raised. Okay. Now, so this is that's why exception handling in Python is one of the powerful mechanisms to handle runtime errors so that the normal flow of application can be maintained. Okay. The rest of the code will execute. What is exception in Python? Dictionary meaning. Exception is an abnormal condition. In Python, an exception is an event that disrupts the normal flow of the program. It is an object which is thrown at runtime. So all these exceptions are runtime errors. Okay, so internal working. So if the data equal to some 10 by 0, so there is an exception occurs, that is divided by 0. And if the exception, then it is thrown to the exception object. And if exception handle is it handled? If it is true, then rest of the code is executes. If it is not handled, then print out the exception description and terminates the program. So it disturbs the normal flow of execution if that particular exception is not handled. Okay, and terminates the program abnormally. So that is the internal working of the exception. Okay, so we use try, except, else, finally block for writing the exception handling code. So the try block lets you test a block of code for errors. If any errors are there, after immediate try block, we have a except block. Okay, if any errors are occurred, it may occur, then it is to be present in the try block. If any other errors are occurred, then immediately the try block throws an exception object. Then immediately corresponding except block will catch and handle that error. Okay. Else block lets you execute code when there is no error. Okay, finally block lets you execute code regardless of the result of the try and except blocks. So this is the syntax: try followed by colon. Okay, run. I mean, if any exceptions are rises, that code is present in this try block. If any exception is rises after try block, immediately there is a except block. Whereas in the Python Java programming, we use what catch block. Okay, try and except block, else block, and finally block. Okay. So the try keyword is used to specify a block where we should place an exception code. It means we can't use try block alone. The try block must be followed by either catch or finally, and except block will handle the exception. It must be preceded by try block. So always after try block, immediately we have a except block. Okay, finally block is executed regardless of that exception rises or handled or does not handle. So the finally block is always executes. Rise. Here the programmer forces a specific exception to occur. The sole argument in rises indicates the exception to be raised. This must be either an exception instance or an exception class. If you want to write the user-defined exception, we use this rise exception also. Okay, so here the finally block. So here there is a program code. If any exception occurs, if it is S, exception occurs and it is handled, then finally block is executes. If it is exception occurs and it is not handled, in that time also final block is executes. If the exception occurs but is not handled, then only in that particular concept only the final block is executes. So the finally block is executes regardless of the exception occurs, exception handled or exception does not handle. In any case, so the finally block is always executes. Okay, so this is exception is raised and handled. So there is a try block and print 10 by 0 and accept 0 exception error, 0 division error. Okay, so here in this second statement in try block, the second statement is maintain indentation. So print statement, and the try block consisting of one of the print statement 10 by 0, that is the divided by 0. Whenever this exception occurs, then the try block raises an exceptional object, and the corresponding catch block will catch that exception and handle and make necessary action. Okay, so print except block and finally print finally block. So in this case, the output will be 0 divided try block, 0 division error, and then finally block is except block and finally block is executes. Exception is raised but is not handled. So here in this case, so sorry, so there is here. So this is exception is raised but is not handled. So here print try block, print 10 by 0. So which type of exception it is? Divided by 0. Okay, but the divided by 0 is not present in except block. Here the except block handles only name error. Okay, divided by 0 is not handled by except. Okay, so whenever the try block raises an exception, the try block throws an exceptional object. So the corresponding exceptional except block catches that object. But in this case, the except block only catches only name error. It does not take division error. Okay, so in that case, exception is raised but is not handled, then what is the final output here? Try block and finally block. So regardless of the exception rises or exception does not rises, the finally block is always executes. So exception advantages of exception handling: improved program readability and simplified error handling, cleaner code, and easier debugging. Okay, cleaner code means always finally block is always executes regardless of the exception occurs or exception may not occurs. Okay, regardless of the exception, the finally block is executes. In that block, we use cleaning related tasks are done by finally block. Okay, so these are the advantages of exception handling: easier debugging, simplified error handling, improved program readability. Because if you want to handle the exception, the normal flow of execution can be maintained. Otherwise, it disrupts the normal flow of execution. If that particular exception is not handled, it disrupts the normal flow of execution. Okay, so that's it. And exception handling is the one of the powerful mechanism in Python. Okay, next one is custom exceptions in Python. So if you want to create a user-defined exceptions, so already there are some built-in exceptions are there: type error, index out of bounds error, and divided by 0 error. These are all inbuilt exceptions. If you want to create a user-defined exception, user-defined, how to create a user-defined function? I mean exception class. This is my exception is the class name. So that is inherits the exception class. So this is the inheritance concept, right? So we creating the class my exception and passing exception as the parameter and which is enclosed with parentheses. This is the indication of what? Inheritance. That means the my exception acquires the properties of the exception. That means my exception itself acts as a subclass of the exception class, because the exception class acquires the properties of the exception superclass. Okay, so there is a init method self.arg equal to arg. In the second step, we raise the exception where it requires. When the programmer suspects the possibility of the exception, then he can raise his own exception using raise keyword. Okay, this is the raise my exception, some message. So that is our, we have to give our message here. So this is the user defined exception. Example, here class negative error. Negative error is the class name and which is acquired properties from the exception class. That means the negative error class itself is a subclass of exception class. And there is a init method self one parameter, that is the data. Self.data equal to data. Now try block. In try block, we have enter a number between positive integer. If you want to if you entered a positive integer, there is no errors are occurred. If enter a number between positive integers. Okay. So for suppose if you want to enter negative value. So in that case, if x is less than 0, what is x value? For example, if you want to, in this example, -3 is taken from the input, right? -3 from the keyboard. So -3 is it less than 0? Yes. If it is -3 is less than 0, then we will raise an error, that is what? Negative error. Okay, raise negative error. Okay, so this is the name of the our exception. Our user defined exception. Okay, negative error of x. So except after try block, immediately we have a except block, and it accepts that object and prints. It takes necessary action. Okay, print you provided, please provide positive number integer values and format. The format function takes the string type of value. So you provided so and so, that is -3. What is the e? E means this x value. Okay, you provided -3. Please provide positive integer values only. So that is the output. Enter a number between positive integer. Here we entered -3. So we will get a exception. So what type of exception that is? User defined exception. So that's why here we use what? Raise. What is negative error is the our exception name. We provide -3. Please provide positive integer only. Okay. So that is about this class. So I want to, some of the concepts I will drop because of time constraint. So that's why I just give the overview of all inheritance concepts and exception handling mechanism. Madam?
Jyoti, hello?
Ma'am.
You're done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we can close. Thank you very much, Jyoti,
Ma'am.
for delivering lecture on Python programming. So please, I think we need to post the quiz as well as the feedback form.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please post it in the chat box and as well as in the WhatsApp group. So we'll close it. Thank you very much for all the
Thank you,
participants.
ma'am. I want to express my appreciation for your genuine care and encouragement, ma'am. Thank you. If any mistakes are please excuse me, ma'am, on all promises of the
no mistakes. I think if they practice, then it will be very well taken. All the participants, please practice the concepts. If really you don't know the Python programming, it is very useful for you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
అయిపోయిందా? వాట్సాప్ లో పిక్ పోస్ట్ చేయమంటారా?